Hello, welcome to your May Connection session. I am Princess India. If you're new and if you're family, welcome back, my friend, and what's all whatever. So we're going to be looking at you as well as a person of interest and the energy between the two of you. And then we're going to be getting into a second spread where we're going to be looking at how your person of interest thinks as well as feels about you and whatnot or whatever. So let's go ahead and hop into your cards if they ever come out and see what's going on between you. Whoa. Okay, there we go. I asked it to pop out. I did that to myself. All right, let's see here. Bam. Oh, sorry. I'm also picking the cards for your other spread. All right, so let's hop into it. The card representing Scorpio for the month of May is the Hermit card, and that is Virgo energy. So what is looking like Scorpio? I can see this one or two ways. Either you guys are kind of pining over someone who once was in you guys' lives. You may have potentially seen a person that you used to date kind of move on, or you guys are just kind of not with the whole dating thing at present. Another way I could see this too could be a Scorpio person who's kind of ready to have someone in your life. It's like, well, how this would kind of manifest would be more like feeling the lonelies, you know what I mean? Feeling like a little lonely, feeling by yourself, feeling a tad like kind of isolated or on the out, and desiring to be with someone, like desiring to have someone there, but not necessarily having the energy or the desire to actually go out and manifest that in so many words. So I feel Scorpios are kind of in an energy of desiring something, either someone that you guys were dealing with before or just someone in general. Now, your person of interest, interesting. Let me cover up her boobs. We have the Knight of Swords in the reverse. So if this is someone from you guys past, like saying in the sense that there was someone that you guys were dating or someone that you guys were with and you guys have separated, your person's not very happy with you. I would say that they're not even speaking to you really. But I do feel that the reason for that isn't necessarily like, oh, Scorpio and I aren't talking anymore. I feel like they're kind of doing that on purpose, like giving you the silent treatment. That's a whole ordeal. Because I can see how this would kind of play out with that. Now, okay, if I were to put this into a narrative of how I would see this, like if Scorpio and this person were dating, you guys had an argument and, you yelled at your person, I don't know, whatever. But your person decides like, oh, well, I'm going to give them a silent treatment to make them suffer, right? Like that's kind of like the vibe that I get with this. Now, looking at the energy between the two of you, fascinating. We have the Queen of Cuppies. So I think I'm going to go ahead and say this, Scorpio. Not necessarily wiping out all of those other scenarios, because I do feel that the others are relevant as well. Like saying if, you're lonely and you're just kind of wanting someone, looking at all of this, I'm kind of feeling this is more a Scorpio and this is a person that you guys may have like recently separated from, or it could be like I wouldn't necessarily say long term. I wouldn't say like a year or nothing like that. But there's a separation between you and your person of interest. But the truth of the matter is the two of you really love and care about each other. But I feel your person's just being a little a-hole in the sense that them giving you the silent treatment is kind of, and I'm not necessarily a fan of this, it's kind of like how they're teaching you a lesson. That's not a good thing. That's not a good way to approach things. So I'm saying, looking at Scorpio being in the Hermit, you guys being in that position is kind of the position that they would want you to be in, because I feel like that's what the silent treatment would provoke. And I don't know if this really helps up at all. I mean, they do really care about you, But I feel, it's just a very toxic way to deal with things. You know what I'm saying? Just have a conversation and say how it is that you feel. So whatever it is that transpired between you and your person of interest, how it is that they're dealing with it is the silent treatment, and how Scorpio is feeling right now is exactly how it is that they want you to feel. Hence the reason why they're not talking to you. You know what I'm saying? Now, getting into your more specific spread, first card that we have, interesting. We have the Temperance card, that is Sagittarius energy. Then we have, oh wow, we have the Seven of Swords in the reverse. Then we have, oh my, we have the Ace of Pentacles. And this is all their fleeting thoughts. And then in their conscious thoughts, we have, oh my goodness, this was stalking everyone this month. We have the 10 of Pentacles in the reverse. So here's the thing, Scorpio, how your person of interest is seeing you at present, especially in their fleeting thoughts, they don't necessarily see you as bothered. So I know you're showing up as the Hermit. They're more or less seeing you in Temperance energy. It's them feeling almost as if like them stepping out, like you're more balanced and things are, better off for you, which for me is what kind of helps up why it is that they're not speaking to you, because their perception of you from the outside looking in is unbothered, right? Now, with the Seven of Swords, this lets me know that they're aware of insecurities that you have. If I were to say specifically what that is, I would say, and this is really messed up if they're doing this like this. Like, say, like when you guys were dating and everything was copacetic and you guys were talking about like deal breakers and stuff like that, and Scorpio said something like, my biggest pet peeve is, if you leave me on red, you know what I mean? Like, if you literally said, like, if you give me the silent treatment, like if I want answers, to something, or we had a fight and, I want to talk about it. Like, if a person just like leaves and you don't answer my phone calls, like that's a huge pet peeve of mine, right? That's what this Seven of Swords in the reverse would be reflective of, right? So with your person of interest seeing you at present, like, oh, they seem unbothered. It's like, they're posting memes on social media, like everything is fine and we just had this fight. Then it's like them using this thing against you. You know what I'm saying? Hence the reason why they would be giving you the silent treatment. You feel what I'm saying? Now, the thing with that is hella petty, but that is a little concerning for me because, of course, when you're in a relationship, stuff like that, well, not stuff like this, but you're going to get in arguments, you're going to get upset at each other, but it's a little jacked up to kind of take something that someone told you and like use that against them type of deal. And that's kind of the vibe I'm picking up on with this. And like I said, the whole reason why it's like they're doing that is because they perceive you to be unbothered. But like I said, I'm clearly seeing that you're bothered, Scorpio. You know what I'm saying? Now, why are they doing all of this? With this Ace of Pentacles, this says to me that your person does really love and care about you. Your person feels that you guys have like a mind, body, soul connection type of thing. Like they connect with you on every single, whoa, are you coming? Wait, hold on, guys, my kid. Okay, sorry about that. But anywho, but they feel that you guys have like, this whole mind, body, and soul connection type of thing, and that you guys have the potential to, grow into something amazing. So in so many words, like that this connection between the two of you has the potential to grow into something like, engagement, marriage, kids, all of the things, right? However, with your person of interest, where I'm concerned with them is like, I want to be with you, Scorpio. I love you. I see a future with you, right? But it's like, so now we have this fight, and instead of me being straightforward and like talking to you, it's like I'm gonna play dirty type of thing because you look happy without me type of deal. Now that's a little concerning for me because it's like sidestepping kind of behavior. You know what I mean? as opposed to a person being an adult. So they're being kind of hella petty about it. And this is even more kind of cemented in their conscious thoughts with this 10 of Pentacles in the reverse, because the 10 of Pentacles here, it's pretty much saying exactly what I was saying with this Ace of Pentacles, but in contrast because of it being reversed. So you guys have the potential to have all of this, right? But it's like them fixating on your insecurities, because this 10 of Pentacles in this deck, it speaks more to you drawing in the love of your life because of you falling in love with yourself first. So it's like an individual I cannot freaking talk. An individual reaching that pinnacle of self-love, right? And because you love yourself so much, you magnetize someone in that loves you as much as you love yourself, kind of deal. But with this being in the reverse, it's kind of self-sabotatory to me in a sense, because with this Ace of Pentacles, because those of you who are new, welcome to subscribers who don't know, the way that I look at tarot, I see all of the aces like the 10 exists within the ace. So the ace is like a seed of potential in so many words. So this person sees in you the potential for you guys to be the 10 of Pentacles. However, the thing that they're fixated on consciously, which is the motivating factor for their fleeting thoughts, is your insecurities. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like whatever part about yourself that you have self-doubt about, like the thing that you feel like you're on shaky ground with yourself or that you're insecure about, it's like whenever they're seeing you as too confident or too balanced or too well off and they're not involved in it, it's like they end up attacking like your Achilles heel in order to get you back into the fold with them. Now, the thing with this is, like, we could say that this is petty, but, you know, I'm a therapist, so I'm always concerned when I see stuff like this, because this could end up turning into something ugly. You know what I mean? Because this isn't a person who's fighting fair. It's like, you know, you guys have a little squabble, you have a little argument, and you're thinking, you know, I'm having a disagreement with an adult and we can talk about this like adults, but your person of interest isn't approaching it that way. It's like they're fighting dirty and you're not aware that they're fighting dirty. You know what I mean? You get into an argument about not taking the trash out, and now this person is like talking about the fact that, you know, you have an abnormally large pinky toe. You know what I'm saying? And that's something you're hella self-conscious about. So I don't really think that that's fair. And I feel like that's something you actually have to watch, because, like, I don't know how long y'all have been together or how often this has been going on with this person. But I mean, only you would know that, Scorpio. But I mean, if this is something that's kind of habitual, that is something that's a bit of like a red flag. You know what I mean? Because it's like hitting a person below the belt, and that's very manipulative kind of behavior. You know what I mean? It's very like passive aggressive, because this person isn't, you know, they're not being straightforward. So it's not really like a fair fight, if that's making sense. Now, their subconscious impression, interesting. Wait, let me cover up this boob here. We have the 7 of Cuppies. So with this being in this person's subconscious impression, dude, this is, I'm not really a fan of your person. I'm sorry. With this being in their subconscious, I would go as far as to say that this person very well may tell you very often things like, you're confused, you don't really know what you want, or like kind of gaslighting kind of stuff where I thought you said that you were really into this, and now you're saying like, oh no, you're not really into that. Like, you're not really you know what I'm saying? Like, kind of undermining you in a sense. You know what I'm saying? It's like if ever you try to stand on something, it's almost them arguing you down in a way that makes you doubt yourself. And I hope I'm saying that in a way where it's not confusing. It's just like, I don't know, if you say like, oh my gosh, God forbid, like, I hate Taylor Swift, right? Like, if you say something like that, and they're like, like, how can you say that you hate Taylor Swift? And you're like, oh my gosh, like I hate all like, pop divas. And they're like, oh my gosh, that's not true because like you like Beyonce, so you can't say that you hate all pop divas because you totally like love Beyonce. And it's like, oh, well, Beyonce isn't a pop diva, right? And it's just like, oh no, see, like you're switching sides now. You're switching sides. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know it's a terrible example, but I hope you're picking up what I'm putting down. It's like them kind of taking things out of context to say like, oh my gosh, you're like a total hypocrite. You know what I mean? To where you have to take a step back and like think to yourself, like, am I being hypocritical? You know what I mean? It's like very gaslighty. But whereas this person, like in real life, like in your encounters with them, they're always constantly switching sides. You know what I mean? It's like they're a Republican today, they're a Democrat tomorrow. It's like they're a feminist today, they're an anti-feminist tomorrow. It's like they're constantly always switching sides and not really, or even if you could say it this way, it's kind of like their views and opinions on things change based on who it is that they're with. You know what I mean? And it's like the energy I'm picking up on is kind of like, in the beginning, Scorpio, like say this person always like kind of trumped you in conversations and stuff like that. It's like, oh no, you're a hypocrite because you just said the other day this and that, da 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 da, right? So it's kind of in the beginning, it may have been like playful to where when you noticed they contradicted themselves, you were like, oh, well, I thought like, just the other day you said da 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 da, and now you're saying da 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 da, right? But it's like when you do the same thing to them that they do to you, it's like hellfire. You know what I'm saying? It's like now you're like so inconsiderate and argumentative and like, causing drama and you're yelling and all of the things. And you literally did the same exact thing to them that they do to you all of the time. And now you're like totally confused because you're like, but they always do this to me. Like, why are they taking this so seriously? You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's almost like it's a different playing field with them. So the stuff that they're doing to you, right? You do that to them and it's like, you sinned against the church or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like an unfair playing field that the two of you are playing on. And it's almost like everything this person accuses, not confuses, everything that this person accuses you of like you not really knowing your views on things, or you constantly switching sides, or like you're being on this end and then the next day you're on this end type of thing. That's really like behavior you witness from them all the time. But anytime you try to call them out on it, like that's never the case. Like that's kind of the vibe that I get from this. And what I will say, this is a bit concerning for me because like I said, with this being in their subconscious, it's them not being aware that they do this. So that means in this person's mind, they see themselves as having very clear morals, values, standards, beliefs, ethics that they stand for. And they feel that they're die hard on them. You know what I'm saying? And they're like shaky at best. But I would go as far as to say, Scorpio, that you may at this point in time with this person be questioning yourself a lot. I even say looking at this hermit energy, I would say that, whatever hiccup that happened between the two of you, I feel the decision you made, what you said, what you did, you were justified in it. But I feel at this point, you guys would literally be second guessing yourself because I feel this person, which says to me, this person is a total gaslighter. You know what I mean? It's like this person has you second guessing yourself. So something inside of you feels very wrong or feels very off, but it's like you don't trust your judgment. You know what I mean? Because I feel like kind of dealing with this person has gotten you to the point where you're second guessing your judgment. So even though the person could have done something to hurt your feelings, it's like, and you pull back from them, it's almost like you would feel guilty for pulling back from them hurting your feelings, because it's like, well, I did yell at them and I probably shouldn't have yelled at them type of thing. So I feel you guys would be kind of blaming yourself for a lot of stuff just because this person is like brain scrambling you a little bit. And that's literally gaslighting. You know what I'm saying? Where you don't know if you're coming or going sometimes, and something can feel wrong and you feel like you should stand up for yourself, but you stand up for yourself and you end up walking away from it feeling like you were wrong for standing up for yourself because the tone in which you stood up for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of the vibe that I get. And then even looking back at this Queen of Cups here, I don't know. I'm kind of looking at that different, to where I don't know. It's like the energy with the two of you is kind of like this person has you kind of subjugated in a sense. Where it's almost like the vibe I'm getting, which is so interesting for me to see this with a Scorpio, but it's almost like you always end up in a position to where, not that you're literally coming back to the person crawling back, but it's always you apologizing. It's always you being wrong. And, then, pat, it's okay. Like, I always tell you this, because of your childhood, you freak out like that because of your childhood, because of like how your mother is, like, you're like that. And you're like, yeah, I know, I'm like that. You know what I mean? And that's like the farthest from the truth. So I'm like, I don't know. I should have took it as a red flag from the beginning of the fact that this person is, because that's emotional abuse, by the way. People who give you the silent treatment, that's emotional abuse. I don't know if you know that, but you should know that. You know what I'm saying? Because like that drives people mad, and for good reason, because, you have a conflict with someone, you want to talk about it and get to the bottom of it. But that's like emotional abuse when a person purposefully, like, not talking about, oh, they're busy at work and, they saw your text and didn't answer you back. Like literally a person who's giving you the silent treatment, they're doing that because they want to make you suffer. And that is emotional abuse, because suffering is a painful emotion. And when a person is intentionally provoking a painful emotion, that's emotional abuse. You know what I'm saying? You're using someone's emotions against them. You're intentionally trying to hurt a person emotionally. You feel what I'm saying? So with this person, I feel with them, they're hella confused, but they're projecting their own confusion onto you. And how they're doing that is by gaslighting the shit out of you. You know what I'm saying? To where no matter what it is that you do, it's like you're wrong. And like I said, that's concerning, because with this Temperance, with them seeing you as being balanced, even though I don't see you guys as balanced right now, but their perception, like I said, on the outside looking in, is seeing you as balanced and everything is copacetic. And it's like, oh no, we can't have Scorpio out here being, balanced and harmonious. Like, let me cause some chaos in their life. God forbid they're happy without me, because I want them to be here. So this kind of says for me that this person, they're coming from a place of insecurity, because all manipulators do, because it's an unfair power dynamic. Like, I feel like I need to be in control in the relationship in order for me to feel safe. I can't come at this person like on a level playing field, eye to eye, person to person, because if I do that, then I'm going to be disempowered somehow. So I need to be in control, to where I'm provoking them to feel different things or doubt themselves, in order for us to have this happy relationship. And the downside of that is the person of interest benefits from that. And then you end up becoming like a victim of that. You know what I'm saying? Now, the person's feelings towards you, oh my God. We have the 10 of Wands in the reverse. Oh, my sweet God. Really not a fan of this. So here's the thing, Scorpio. Have I said this month yet? I don't think I've said this straightforward to anyone this month yet, but I'm not a fan. So this person's feelings towards you, they're wanting you to let down all of your guards. They're wanting you, like, any blockade, any barrier, any protective factor, any of those things that you have up, like kind of like the fight that you have in you, if I could say it that way. Like the part of you that still argues them down. Like, I would say, I don't know how long you guys have been together, but I would say, like, for however long it is that you've been dealing with this person, they've worn you down in certain areas of things, to where you just won't argue with them on certain stuff. So like, say, I don't know, if it's like politics or something, right? Like, when it comes to something like that, you've given up, like, you waved your white flag and you're like, when this comes up, I'm just going to bow out and I'm not even going to bother arguing with them, because I know like this is a losing battle. They're going to argue me down. Even if I'm like, right, if I have facts and like evidence, all of the things, they're not going to hear me out. So it's like, I'm just going to, let them have it. Right. So I feel that there's certain areas where you've relented, but I feel there's other areas where it's like, you're still coming out ferocious. You know what I'm saying? And more or less what they're hoping to do at this present moment is like break you down in a sense. And I don't want to necessarily say like break you down as a human being and a whole person. I wouldn't necessarily go that far, but it's kind of like they want you to break down all defenses in a sense. And I feel that's because it's a desire for like control in this situation. So I would say, like, going back to what I was saying earlier, if this is a conversation you guys had where you were like, the worst thing you could ever do to me is like ice me out, ghost me, or give me the silent treatment. It's like they're pulling out the big guns, and they're doing that because they're trying to purposefully get you into like a broken down state to where all the defenses are down, because that's kind of how they feel the most comfortable. You know what I'm saying? And that sounds horrible even coming out of my mouth. But with this particular person, that's like the ideal state of being for them, because like I was saying, they feel the safest in a situation such as that. It's like when they're not arguing me, and is that even a relationship? Like when they're not arguing me and they're just going along with everything it is that I say, right? I contradict myself. They don't call me out on it. Like that's like the ideal situation for them. You know what I'm saying? You don't question me on anything. It's like you just go along with it type of deal. Like, or you're looking to them for everything. Like that makes them feel safe and comfortable. But the thing that's concerning for me about this is there's no thought whatsoever and how it is that affects you. You feel what I'm saying? Like, and that's the thing I say, whenever there's like power dynamics and manipulation in relationships, by default, it's a very one-sided relationship, because the person is only thinking about what's best for them and like how this situation can make them feel the most comfortable. You know what I'm saying? It's like, if Scorpio just like sits down, bees quiet in the corner, that's going to make me feel safe, right? All their defenses are down. That makes me feel safe. But there is no consideration whatsoever of how it is that's going to make Scorpio feel. Because it's just like, well, if I'm happy, you should be happy too type of thing. And that's a very selfish, very self-serving perspective to have. But I mean, that's a person who is a selfish, self-serving person. You know what I'm saying? So Scorpio, I don't know if y'all can see my knee. Hold on. I'm trying to stretch out my leg. My legs keep going to sleep. I keep sitting Indian style. I don't know why I keep doing that to myself. But anyway, but the thing I say with this Scorpio, this person, they're red flag city. It's a tad a lot concerning. Let me just be honest. It's a lot concerning, because this person's ideal dynamic in a relationship is like you needing them more than they need you type of thing, and them needing you to feel like you're wrong, and you feeling almost like you're missing out on something. You know what I'm saying? Like, how dare you be happy without me? Like you should miss me because you're missing out on the best thing that you ever had type of thing. And that's not at all the case. It's like the connection between the two of you is thriving on the fact of them keeping you in a state of constant self-doubt and insecurity. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to, throw out the N word, not that N word. I mean, narcissist. That was hilarious. But I don't want to throw out that word. But I mean, what I'm seeing with this person, it's looking a lot kind of like that. You know what I mean? Like this person is hella insecure. And I'm not a fan. I don't like the idea of like, for us to be together, like I need you broken down. You know what I'm saying? I need you on your knees, missing me and suffering, and like then everything between us can be okay type of deal. That's very concerning for me, you know? So please watch this. Scorpio, I feel like I should pull oracle cards because I hate when I like end and it's like on this icky kind of note here. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you guys are separated from this person, I hope you guys are already kind of considering like staying gone, because I really don't think that I don't think this is a good look. Like this is an unfair power dynamic. Oh, sweet God in America. Are you kidding me? So the card that came out is the Runner. And it says runner in a codependent relationship, fear of intimacy, listening to ego. Like, yeah, that's very much what it is that I'm seeing here. Like, this is a person who's running and they desperately want you to chase them. You know what I'm saying? That's what the whole silent treatment thing is, dude. Like, that's like psychological warfare. Like, I don't think people understand. That's why, like, I tell people, because like clients I've had over the years, like a coping mechanism is like ghosting people because it's more avoidance behavior, you know, like ghosting people or like not replying to people. And I know that they're not like manipulators and narcissists and things of the sort. So it's like they're not doing it to hurt people, but it's more or less like a fear of confrontation. But I always make sure people know that like that causes so much more damage in friendships and relationships. But a lot of times like it's still avoidance, because like with a runner person it is a form of avoidance, but it is a form of avoidance. But the key is coming to a healthy place with learning to start desensitizing yourself to conflict, because you're not going to be able to run away from everything all the time. But like with this person in particular, this is vastly different. Like this is like dead ass a fear of intimacy, because like remember when I was saying earlier about, oh my gosh, did it really? Why, computer? Why? I was right about to be done. Why would you do this to me? Dag nabbit. My computer is such an a-hole. Okay. Anyway. But like how I was saying earlier, like being on like the same level, like that's ideally how it's supposed to be, like two adults who are coming together that are equal on the same level. It's like with people like this, it's like a differential power dynamic, and that's how they feel more in control in the relationship, because it's fear of intimacy, it's a fear of abandonment, and this person feels a lot more in control when you have a person who doesn't know if they're coming or going, if they're confused, they're doubting themselves. That gives them the power in the connection. You know what I mean? But that's the absolute wrong way to approach relationships. And it can be hella damaging psychologically. You know what I'm saying? So, Scorpio, I always say this, I never tell you guys what to do, because who am I? I am just some strange lady that popped up on your timeline on the interwebs. You know what I mean? So, I can't tell you what to do. I can only tell you what's going on. But in my opinion, a person like this is red flag city. Like, this is somebody that, you have to really watch, because people like this, I mean, unless you're okay with being in a relationship where there's a power differential, where this person is in control of the narrative of how everything is going. And I don't know anybody who really wants that in a relationship, but you have to be watchful of this, because this person is like triggered by you being empowered or you being okay without them, and it's wanting to pull you back in to be subjugated underneath them. You know what I mean? And that's just not what's hot in the streets right now. You know what I'm saying? But anywho, Scorpio, that has been your connection session for the month of May. Most certainly let me know what you think in the comments, and as always, I love your freaking face, and I will see you guys